Hello, this is Ray from loveyourrv.com, and I'm continuing my review of the Renogy Firefly power box, a little solar box with an inverter built in. And last video I kind of gave you my initial impression and looked at the general construction of it. This time I'm going to have a look inside and give you a review of how I feel it's built inside and the electronics. Prior to being a full-time RVer, I spent 25 years as an electronic repair tech. Had my own TV and stereo repair shop. Yes, folks used to repair TVs, strange as it seems nowadays. Back in the old days, people used to actually repair stuff. Now they just throw it away. Anyway, I'm going to take it apart and have a look at the inside and give you my impression. After years of experience repairing stuff, I kind of know what quality looks like. I strongly advise you don't do this unless you have a background in electronics and know what you're doing, because you could shock yourself, kill yourself, probably void your warranty. So just a warning up front there. Okay, so we'll take her apart and show you what's in there. Okay, right away, first thing I like about the product is the screws. Instead of using kind of like a wood screw into plastic, they use a pretty fine threaded machine type screw. Has an Allen key head, and it also, in every screw hole, they have a brass insert for the threads. That's a smart way to do it, and it takes a little more money, and the cheaper products will just thread right into plastic, kind of a one-shot deal. So right away I know this thing's meant to be taken apart and serviced or upgraded if needed. So I'll take the panels off. They're just held by a couple clipped together wires. There we go. So the next thing I notice right away is we've got along the outsides here a weatherproof seal. So we got a rubber O-ring keeping water out of the whole thing. Looks like the guts are in here. Nice plastic covers. So I've already did all the screws to that. I won't bore you with me taking out a bunch of screws. So that comes off. And behind that there's your battery. I believe it's a lithium-ion 16 amp hour battery right there. And then in here we got the heart of the machine. Oops, take that off. It's got a fan on the side to cool the electronics. So let's place that down there. There's the guts of the beast. So on that board you're probably going to have your charge controller and your inverter, kind of the brain of the unit as well, running the display. There's your display board. Over here you've got all your input and output jacks, and on this side is your LED light, and definitely not your run-of-the-mill cheap LED. That's pretty high quality, high intensity LED lamp they've put in there. Okay, another thing I noticed on the board that I really like is a lot of the inputs and outputs here are just screwed in rather than soldered in, and that'll make service and upgrading very easy. You don't have to unsolder. Like, from a technician's point of view, that's awesome. If I needed to work on this board, troubleshoot it or repair it, you know, it's really easy for me to pull that board out. The cheaper quality stuff always is just soldered in and a real mess to get out and actually work on. So this unit is very serviceable, very nice. Another thing I really like is anywhere they've got these ribbon cables and plugs, they've used this white goopy stuff to keep it in place. And that helps anything from coming loose, because this is a portable unit, so it's meant to travel a lot. I'm going to have a lot of vibration So that's really going to be helpful. Also, the quality of the circuit board is really good. Not a cheap circuit board at all. So, you know, I've seen people online, they've got their kind of do-it-yourself copies of something like this, but all they're really doing is buying off the shelf, you know, a cheap charge controller and inverter and battery and kind of cobbling it together. But this is a really professional setup here. I really like that. So next, one thing I wanted to do, and I had questions on the comments, was whether the inverter in this unit was a pure sine wave or true sine wave versus a modified sine wave. So I've got my scope out, and I'm going to check it myself and see what kind of output this inverter has. So I look in here, it looks like here's your AC power out coming in. Let me see. No, that's the output there, input there, and there's your battery input over there. So I'm going to scope the output and let you see whether it's going to be a squarish type wave, which a modified sine wave inverter will have, or actually a nice true clean sine wave. So let me set that up. Okay, there you go. That is a pretty nice looking sine wave there. So that gives a nice true looking sine wave, so it should be good for all your sensitive electronics. I think in here it's like a 150 watt inverter, so that should run, you know, laptops and all kinds of things like that. It's not going to run your skill saw or anything like that, but that's good to know. It's obviously not a cheaper square wave type inverter, but a nice sine wave inverter there. And I'm actually powering my scope off of the box itself. Let me turn on the light there. One feature I didn't notice when I first looked at this box, and a lot of people on the comments noticed that this light can flash SOS. So you've got, you know, 3 fast, 3 slow, and 3 fast. That's really cool. Morse code. Okay, so we'll turn on that light, and you can see voltage coming off of that battery pack is 12.17 there. Okay. And I'll just give you a quick look at the voltage that is supplied off the inverter's output. We look at 112 volts coming out that, and that's right now that's just supplying my scope over there. Okay, so that's kind of a little look at the inside and some of my opinions. I saw over there, I think I mentioned before, this switch. I'd be worried about it being damaged. That's the main power switch. I see they do have room to recess that a bit, so I think that would be nice if they brought that in and made it kind of a flush mount so you couldn't hurt it on something by banging it. Also, another thing a few people wanted was maybe a built-in storage for all the cables and wires you get, the hookup cables, and judging by the amount of space in here, it looks like they could come up with some kind of flap storage area for your cables. That's another idea for them. Overall, build quality inside looks really good to me, and from electronics standpoint, I really like it for serviceability. Like if I was working on this as a technician, I'd be pleased when I'd opened it and saw how it's really built to be worked on. And all the components look like really high quality. The capacitors, silicone, semiconductors, they all look to be good quality and well made. Everything just looks really skookum. So anyway, that's a look at the inside. In my next video, I'll probably be trying out a few things. I'll run it down to 0, see how long it takes to charge up on power, see how long it takes to charge up on solar. see what kind of things will run off the inverter, all that sort of performance things. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, this is Ray from loveyourrv.com. Happy trails.